It's coffee break. Another week, episode
Yeah.
102.
102, wow.
Wow.
We're slowly getting to the point where trying to keep up with the number is no longer relevant.
Yeah, I feel like it's been longer than a week since the last one.
I feel like this last week actually flew by. Like, I feel like we just recorded the last one yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a month ago. I can't believe Halloween was last week.
Yeah, so it just kind of came and went. No big excitement.
No trick-or-treaters, but we turned off all the lights like jerks.
Yeah. The kids who live in the area don't deserve candy.
Yeah, they're nasty little children.
They are. They're not the worst we've had living near us,
No.
but they're not great.
I hope everyone else had a great Halloween.
We watched the third and final installment, well, final sort
True installment.
of Halloween Town High,
Yep.
which I was mildly disappointed because I thought she was going to be attending high school at Halloween Town,
Nope.
but instead they brought monsters to the real world. It was good. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. I was more disappointed that a lot of the monsters in monster form didn't look like monsters.
No.
Like the main dude.
They had a really small budget for that one.
Yeah, you can kind of, which they stretched it out a bunch, and I bet it helped that they had it take place in the human world, so all the extras didn't need all the prosthetics and makeup and stuff that the
Because
monsters
they're wearing
usually.
special magical costumes to make them look human, yeah.
No, like one guy who was played by he's in High School Musical. I don't remember the actor's name. I don't remember his character's name in High School Musical either. Sharpay's brother.
Ryan?
Ryan, yeah. He was in it.
Yep. Where he plays an actor.
He does. And he gets on a stage.
Yep.
But he was a monster. And even when he's in his monster form, he's just like wearing a suit. And so I don't know what his monster form was like.
Well, you saw his dad. His dad was a human also. Or in humanoid form. He was a warlock also.
Yeah, I guess it's just, it's so, man, you have this whole cool monster world, and the witches and warlocks don't look like monsters.
You know what's weird about that one? In the first movie, Marnie is
That's
Pretty-
her name.
yes, pretty hesitant towards the troll character. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I'm not gonna remember it either.
Well, we watched it like 3 years ago. And then in the second one, he's her friend. And then we never mention him ever again.
Yeah, I was amazed that almost nothing from the first two movies were referenced in this one.
Yeah.
We didn't mention
Calabar.
Yeah, he wasn't in it at all, which I appreciated. That was something different. It was still an old white guy who was a warlock who wanted to steal the family's witch powers.
Yep.
So, even though different name, same story.
Yeah, he's part of like some council, and they're all different monsters.
There was one I really liked. It was like a caterpillar dude.
Yep.
It was, you could tell like easily what the puppetry, what the gimmick was with how they did him, but
With
it was
his
still
hands. He has
still
6
well
hands.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end, Halloween Town and the real world unite together and celebrate Halloween.
It's so okay. The ending was the worst part by far. So like the principal's the bad guy, and he's like, "See, they're different. They're witches. They're bad." And they're like, "Oh no!" And then they like run 3 feet, and they're like, "Golly gee, everything's bad." And then he runs up. He's like, "Guys, how could we? We should team up with them."
And it's like less than 5 minutes he does this.
And it's like you were that. You instigated this.
Disney Channel original movie, that's what you're gonna get. Especially, that's towards the end.
You
where
could tell.
They stopped doing magical things like that, and then they were focusing more on boy bands.
Yeah.
Jonas Brothers.
Everyone had a boy band. I do want to watch the fourth one because that one, Marnie, has a different actress.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, Marnie's actress was the worst one across all 3 films.
She doesn't know how to act.
No. And you would think by the third one, where she's clearly an adult, she would have a grasp on it. But no, she looks overly nervous and like confused by everything. And
Yep.
you can tell it's part of what she thinks is the character. Like, it's not like she's nervous, it's the character's nervous, but it's every single thing. And it's not amazing.
Yeah. The grandmother.
Augie?
Yeah.
Augie.
Augie is what her nickname is.
Yeah.
She's so old as an actress at that point. She just doesn't care.
You can tell she's like high on something.
Yeah.
Just saying her lines, floating through, getting her paycheck, and drinking like a booze hound at the end of the day.
She was an older actress. If you look at her picture, it's black and white.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when she first came to Hollywood.
I think it was a bummer that the mom and the little sister character barely got to do anything.
Yes.
They were so pivotal for the first 2 films.
Sophie.
Sophie? Was that her name?
The sister?
She had like 2 lines.
Yep. She's not even in the 4th one. In the 4th one, she goes to college. Which college?
Oh, yeah? Is that where she goes to school in the monster world?
Yeah, she goes to college in Halloween Town. Where she teams up with that one guy again.
The warlock Ryan from High School Musical. Her brother was a good actor. He just got better and better as time went on.
Yeah, he doesn't even look the same.
No, and he did acting, but it was all like Law and Order and things like that. Like, everyone has to get it.
Isn't that kind of the dream? To get a lead role in a long-running series like that? Like NCIS? Just imagine. That's it.
Oh, but he wasn't a lead role.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about... I think I heard it on a podcast a while ago, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, that would be pretty nice to just show up, know it's a murder scene.
You know your character.
Yep.
You know
and then
what
you
you're
just
doing.
go through the motions of solving it. You film that for 3-4 months, a year. Mm-hmm. And then you get to just go on vacation.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not a bad gig. Especially when you're one of the, like, main characters, but not a main... Like, you don't need to do any of the... Like, the techie one, for example. Mm-hmm. The one who would sit there at the computer and, like, I found the hacker's code, where you don't need to run around all the time. That'd be a nice job.
It would be. Having... Maybe someone like CW. Mm-hmm. You know, all those guys from the Arrowverse.
Yep.
That would have been a really nice... Except for lead actors. I feel like... At least for, like, Stephen Amell. I know he's a scab now and everything. Mm-hmm. But I remember when he was training for season 6, he released a video. And he's in a, warehouse, a parkour warehouse. Mm-hmm. And he's just doing all his stunts on his own.
Damn.
Because he's training to be Arrow. And it's just like, that looks miserable.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think the standard of, like, you always have to be skinny and beautiful and athletic and attractive. I think that could get to anybody after a while.
Have you seen Grant, who plays Flash?
He has a beard. That's what I saw.
He has long hair and a beard now.
Wow.
He was in a ad for...
Yeah.
Oh man. I forgot what it was for, but it's with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and he was like, "You'll always be my Barry."
And he's like,
he walks
"You'll
over.
always be my Hal."
Yeah, it was like, it must have been like, what's Ryan Reynolds' phone?
Mint.
Mint. It must have been like a Mint ad or something.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds owns Mint anymore because he sold it to, like, Verizon or T-Mobile.
Yeah, he needed to purchase a football team.
A club.
Might be.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. And there are talks of bringing Grant back as the Flash for the DCU.
I mean, he's also pretty old by now.
He said he would play him forever.
I know, and he would do a good job. But also, I don't want to completely give up on the idea that maybe there is someone else out there who could capture the spirit of Barry. Or we could just do Wall-E instead.
Yeah.
Or something else.
Yeah. So, in today's news... Disney bought up the rest of Hulu from Comcast.
Damn, I thought that happened a while ago.
No, Comcast had like some shares in it. Mm. Disney had a majority of it, but now Disney's just been like, we're gonna buy all of it. Which was kind of weird because it cost them $8.5 billion to do that.
And yet they can't pay their animators or actors or writers.
Yeah, and they're complaining about losing money, and it's like, $8.5 billion?
Are they gonna raise the prices of Disney Plus?
They already did that.
Yeah, but they could piss away $8.5 billion on... What do they even get out of this?
They now just have They have 5 streaming services.
That's it?
Dude, that's a lot.
But
they got ESPN.
Is it because Disney Plus sucks and no one wants to watch your stupid...
Disney Plus is failing. It's been failing. It costs them way too much money to make, which you think would be... You own everything there.
And it hasn't... It literally hasn't changed since it released. Like, the UI, the look of anything, has not changed.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I'm annoyed because Wish is going to come out at the end of the month. I think it's the 22nd.
It's the new Disney animated film.
And if this goes the same way that they did, like, Little Mermaid, it's going to be a month until it hits Disney Plus. Meanwhile, Five Nights at Freddy's has reached remarkable numbers, and it's helped because it was also streamed same day on Peacock.
Yep.
And Peacock now has a ton more money because there's a ton more people subscribing just to watch Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah. No, they're also going to the theaters to watch it.
They are. But...
Which we'll get there.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird. When Disney bought Fox, they were like, well, we need a streaming home for Fox, so they made that Hulu. They own ESPN, so they have their own sports channel.
Great, good for them.
Over across seas, they have something called Star.
Not Stars. Jeez.
Star.
Jeez Louise.
And Star is basically Hulu and Disney Plus put together.
Why can't we just have that?
I don't know. Because if you go into your phone, right, and you get the VPN, like NordVPN, whatever, just drop a name there, right, and you log into your Disney Plus account and you put in a different country, you'll most likely have Hulu things on it.
It's so weird, and I hate the idea of, I just have 6 streaming platforms now, but rather than put everything on one platform, so you are more enticed to buy the one, we're spreading it across these 6 things, so you have to give us more money to have all of them.
Yep.
Which is really just inspiring me to not have any of them and just pirate shit instead.
Something that really sucks is, so we have the Disney Plus bundle, which I think a lot of people do. It's Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. But with ESPN, I still don't get the football games.
Yeah, it seems so pointless. The
ultimate streaming service, in my honest opinion here, is Hulu with live TV. Once you unlock that live TV, and yes, it's about $80 a month, right? You now have this giant back catalog of like almost everybody's movies.
Yes. There's just like a couple of weird things that you won't be able to find.
Yeah.
But then you get like live TV and stuff.
Yep.
It's just a lot of people are talking about how streaming services have circled back around to being just as bad as cable TV was.
Yep.
With all the packages and everything like that. Spending just as much on all your different streaming platforms.
Hollywood has a really hard time of learning to adapt and change. To accept it. And it's gonna be a big problem later on.
Yeah.
It already is, but I want to see how they handle it. Do we get rid of cable? Because I feel like cable should just go back to what it was.
I don't know.
Which is, you plug in your cable to the box to the wall, right? And you get all your local news channels, and that's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, if you really need anything. I don't know. And another thing that, like, Hollywood, like, understands that movies are expensive to make.
Yeah.
And they're charging people a lot of money, but also it's so common nowadays. And they've never considered how to compete with YouTube, you know? You can watch a million cool things on YouTube for free.
True.
And rather than spending any money to watch a movie, you could even watch something that just summarizes the whole movie for you instead.
On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the good old days of watching, Dragon Ball Z Part 1 of 13, Episode 42.
Yeah.
And has a weird vignette on it.
that always bothered me. I'm glad things like Crunchyroll exist, so I don't have to deal with it. But then again, Crunchyroll, the ads, it's the same ad. Literally, it's the same ad over and over and over again.
I've had ad blocker on YouTube for a very long time. Specifically because I remember it was like in 2012-ish. There was a lot of election ads going on. And they had so many effects happening. The ones on the sidebar.
What a weird election.
It was. So many things was happening at that point. But there was like ads would pop up on the sidebar, and they had like a bunch of animations and effects, and it would slow down everything on my laptop. Like my video wouldn't process because the ad had too much going on in it. And sometimes they would play noise. And that would, like, just be interrupting your video the entire time. So, and it was gotten to the point where I was trying to watch something, and it just was, like, literally a PowerPoint. Just frame by frame. And I realized it was just how horrible the ads were, so I got ad blocker. And recently, YouTube changed their system, so now they get rid of ad blocker, so I got rid of it. And I've realized ads aren't even that bad. Like, they're frequent, but there's many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like many different things, versus when you have infrequent ads, but it's the same one over and over again. That's way more maddening.
Yeah. So Disney bought the rest of Hulu. Mm-hmm. What are they going to do with it? They're going to double down on it, I guess, because they just renewed The Bear, the beloved cooking show.
Nice. Season 2 wasn't as good as Season 1?
No, it wasn't, but it now has a 3rd season coming. So hopefully they can fix some of those small things.
This is one that I definitely don't think you could do, like, 3 or 4 seasons max. 5 if you really want to push it, but by that point it might be, like, too far gone.
The thing about The Bear is it's well shot. Conversations, the dialogue is great. Mm-hmm. It's the main character, the bear.
Yeah.
He's the worst character.
Yeah.
And that's the point of the story. But everybody else is so much more fun to be around.
It is. I keep thinking about, what was his cousin's name? Just sitting in his car screaming along to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It's a great show, but yeah, I don't know if I want any more than 4 seasons max.
Yeah, I don't know how much further it can go.
Kind of like What We Do in the Shadows. That's a show that I'm also feeling like, okay, I think we've seen the highlight of this. We're only going downhill from here.
Yeah, what is FX going to bring out next?
Another season where they just reset everything back to the status quo and basically ignore everything that happened the prior seasons.
Oh, one thing they did do is they renewed Futurama for 2 more seasons, with a season already coming on the way.
Weird.
So, something that should have died 2 times now is coming back again.
Meanwhile, Disenchantment struggled to get its final season. It's finally airing. Finally.
So, Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to start with the Echo. Echo is the Native American mute deaf girl. She was in Hawkeye.
I remember her. She was really cool.
She has the prosthetic leg.
I loved her. She was really dope.
They're going to make a TV show, and believe it or not, it's already done.
Wow!
It comes out next year, January 10th.
Oh. No, wait, why didn't we get any news about this before now?
They just started showing it off this week.
Okay.
Which I was like, okay, I guess because Loki's wrapping up and Marvel's about to drop this weekend.
Oh yeah, Loki's wrapping up.
Here's the thing. Echo, Slade Wilson, or not Slade Wilson, Wilson Fisk.
It's very different.
Yes.
I mean, you know what? Not too different.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
He's back. And she's trying to, like, save a community, and she's trying to be a part of it while he's trying to destroy it because he's a bad guy.
Yep, yeah.
It is rated TV MA.
Ooh.
So it will be violent.
Cool.
Some people are saying they get the vibes of Netflix's Daredevil.
Oh.
That kind of violence.
Okay.
And all episodes will drop simultaneously.
Oh.
This is not a week-to-week thing.
Good. I think the week-to-week thing is really hurting Disney.
Yes.
I think after the first week of Loki, and then all the numbers started dropping after that second.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, man.
Well, all I gotta do is wait till Wednesday, right? Mm-hmm. Either Wednesday or Tuesday when the final episode of Season 2 comes out.
Yeah.
And then I can sit down and just binge the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. Because it definitely was not worth sitting around waiting week to week for.
Especially after that second episode.
Also, with how complex, like, the storyline of, like, time travel and dimension hopping or whatever, waiting weekly, it's like, wait, what names were important? What was the name of the thing? What were we doing?
Also, it took, like, 2 to 3 years to make another season, and so much other information has already happened.
Yeah. Oh, Marvel. You need to just simplify things, I feel like.
So, Echo, it won't only just drop on Disney Plus. It'll drop on Hulu as well.
Oh.
It will have a special banner. It's called the Spotlight banner,
Cool.
it's called Marvel Spotlight. This is a new thing that they're doing.
It's shocking.
It is part of the MCU, but the reason why they're going to start releasing shows with the spotlight on it is so that if you don't want to follow the entire story of the MCU, the spotlight banner means you can just sit down and watch that. You don't have to do backstory stuff.
So they've learned, like, everyone's, like, complaints that I don't want to have to watch all of WandaVision and all of Miss Marvel to understand what's going to be happening in the Marvels coming up. Disney's like, oh man, asking everyone to watch 10 plus hours worth of TV shows wasn't a good idea.
So I've read half the plot to Marvels already.
Yeah? Is it awful?
Yes, it's terrible. There's no reason for me to not believe this is the plot. And the Monica stuff, Monica Rambeau,
Yeah.
remember she was a special agent?
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
Oh, that's it, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Kamala Khan,
Yeah?
you remember she lives with her parents?
Yes?
That's all you need to know.
Really?
Yep. It's
What?
all about Carol Danvers.
Wait, what? But
And this time she's a princess.
Just shut the fuck up, Disney.
And-
Suck a chode.
And she's fighting an evil bad guy, Dan Barr or something like that. She has the other bracelet of Kamala.
How'd she get it? We have a million
Apparently-
movies and TV shows. But
Apparently,
we can't.
instead of asking how she got it, this character, she's the leader of the Kree, she asks Kamala, how do you have that? And then Kamala goes, oh, my grandmother mailed it to me. Haha, jokes. I'm telling you, I read the script. It's not the script with the plot. It's terrible.
Jesus. But Kamala was dealing with, oh man, what were they called? The like cleanup crew. What were they called in Miss Marvel? You know who I'm talking about.
I know. Because they wanted to do a show of them so many times.
Yeah, and we were just starting to introduce this like new sector of potentially villainous government officials? Question mark maybe.
Which was introduced at Homecoming.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of got rid of that.
And now they're just gone. We're not going to talk about them anymore, I guess.
Yeah, basically, they take off the space to go stop this big baddie. And her whole thing is she's highly inspired by Thanos.
Great. It sounds like someone saw the banter between Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man during Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
When they were trapped on what used to be... Oh, what's his name? Ebony Maw.
Yeah,
when they were
Ebony
trapped on
Maw.
Ebony Maw's ship, and they're like, oh, we like that mechanic of someone being the person, someone who looks up to that person, and then sassy extra one there in the mix to ground them all and put them back in reality. We'll do that.
Yeah. Why their powers keep switching, I didn't read that far into the script. I lost interest really quick.
It's probably something stupid. It's probably like one of the villains was like, I flipped the plot switch to gather you all here. You've fallen into my trap.
Basically, that's what it was coming down to.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
Um,
Maybe we could just rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy again.
I'd rather not.
It could have been the first one.
Oh, you know what's coming to Disney Plus?
Huh.
December 1st. Mark your calendars. Is everyone's favorite action guy's coming back. Indiana Jones.
Oh.
Dial of Destiny will be on Disney Plus. I have not seen it.
Geriatric Jones.
I'm excited. I've read the whole plot to that one.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't super love Indiana Jones movies to begin with. Like, they range from horrible to not bad. Guess which one's horrible? It's the second one.
The second one?
I hate it.
Really?
She is
Not
so...
the fourth one?
She's so annoying. I don't remember the fourth one to bother care about.
Kingdom of Crystal Skull
I don't remember it.
with Shia LaBeouf.
I do not. I might not have even
Cannibal.
watched it. Yeah. I hate it. The only good thing, well, the second one does have Shore Round in it, and I love him. But she is so awful. She just screams the whole time.
I like how violent that one is.
It's.
The guy's just straight up ripping out people's hearts.
I like the third one.
Everyone likes the third one.
I mean, you can't blame us.
There's obvious reasons. Back to Marvel. Blade will be rated R.
Good. I know
So
a lot of
it's
people
still
were
happening.
worried about that.
I think it's totally doable with its new budget of $100 million and going rated R.
I mean,
He's just hunting vampires.
just do practical effects.
And I think the most expensive person to get will be Jared Leto.
Why? Is Jared Leto gonna be in it?
I can hope.
Oh, because of Morbius?
Yeah, because he's a vampire.
Yeah, that.
And Blade hunts him.
God, Morbius feels like a DC movie, doesn't it? Doesn't Morbius feel
Wow.
like a 2003 DC movie, specifically? Like during the era where superhero movies weren't good.
It feels like a 2010 DC film.
It feels like it would be right alongside Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Oh,
You know?
that's still Marvel.
What's her name? Halle Berry?
Halle Berry?
Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Oh, God. Oh, nightmares.
Related. I was gonna say.
No, that is not related to anything that I
No,
wanted to talk about.
I'm gonna say something related because I was thinking Blade just needs to really lean into its practical effects, which I think they could totally do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about the majority of the budget would probably just go to fake blood. There was a thing I totally forgot to talk about. Did you see Markiplier's trailer for Iron Lung?
Nope.
It didn't really show us anything.
Okay, that's great.
But it explained a thing. So there was a picture he took. I showed it to you, where his eyes were like red, like bad red. And everyone's like, "Mark, what did you do this time?" And he said the thing was he was fine. He just had to go to the hospital to get his eyes washed out because he had too much fake blood get into his eyes. And then he said, "I think they broke the record for the amount of fake blood on set at one point in time."
Oh.
And then we see the teaser, and it's like, "Oh yeah,
This is just a room
it's
flooded.
just red. You can't even see that it's Mark under all of it. It's just goo."
Wow. Okay. And then I read this from Yahoo, but I was also reading that it was Variety who did this initial report.
Yahoo exists still?
Yes, it still does exist.
Wow.
But
Speaking of 2003.
yeah. It was a basically look inside of what's going on with Marvel Studios. And all the problems that they're having. And they used the F word quite a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said because of the writer's strike, there's a lot of things in there. Because of the writer's strike, it didn't give them time to double back on the Kang thing with Jonathan Majors and his ongoing case. Which I can talk a little bit about that case. The only thing is, nothing really has developed.
Yeah.
Like, he had his attorneys arrest her, and then when they wanted to go to trial, he said, "No, I don't want to do this." And they said, "No, we're still going to trial." So for some reason, he wants to hit back at her, but doesn't want to actually go through the whole lawsuit.
And a trial process is so slow.
Disney's taken away one of his movies that they made with him. It was like, I forgot what it was called.
Like Kang and his adventures in
No,
Wonderland.
no. It was like a autobiography, or not. A movie about a person who was real or something like that.
Like a documentary?
Yeah, but like Elvis and Priscilla.
Oh, okay.
A biopic. God. And they said that, and I quote, because they weren't able to get to it in time, Disney or Marvel is fucked for what they did here.
I'm gonna say they could have just, if they really couldn't afford to wait for the strike, even though they could just pay the striking writers instead, if they really couldn't afford to wait for the strike to be over, they could have also just recast him.
So that's the next thing. They're like, do they recast them and keep going with Kang?
Yes.
Or do they drop the whole Kang thing in favor of Victor Von Doom?
I mean,
Which, these are rumors that I've been talking about before.
yeah,
And the fact that now Variety's like, hey, this is an actual legitimate thing happening, which tells me my sources were correct once again.
it's just like there's not a good establishment for Kang, but there's no establishment for Victor Von. We don't even have the Fantastic Four yet in this version of Marvel.
Yeah.
So stick with Kang for a while.
So the idea is that these are rumors deeper in there. Fantastic Four will happen, where it will introduce Victor Von Doom,
Yeah.
but not Doctor Doom. Because they'll be fighting somebody else, right?
Sure.
And then, in part of Phase 6, there will be Doctor Strange 3, in which Doctor Strange will become the bad guy. That's what he was becoming at the end there with his third eye.
I don't know.
And Victor will become... He'll basically build himself an Iron Man suit, and that's how he gets his powers.
Oh, really?
Apparently, it's something in the comics, too. And I was like, this is actually kind of cool.
I don't know. I don't want Doctor Strange to become a bad guy.
I do.
Why?
Because it's cool.
But I like Strange.
Yeah.
I think he's fun. I don't want to see him be a villain. That's no fun.
That is fun.
I already had to watch that happen with Scarlet Witch. That wasn't fun.
She's dead. It's over. So then you got that going on. Then you have She-Hulk. The actual numbers came out for that.
Yeah.
Each episode cost $25 million.
I think total it was $255 million. And someone pointed out that I think, if I remember correctly, that's 15 million more than I think it was Infinity War or Endgame. One of
Actually,
them.
those two are really expensive movies.
It might have been the first Avengers then.
Yes, that would make sense. I think they only spent $200 million on the first Avengers. And you ready for this crazy statistic?
Huh.
50 million of that was just for Robert Downey.
That doesn't surprise me.
That was his payday for playing Iron Man in the Avengers. $50 million. That's not a bad gig.
It's not.
Now, because of how expensive She-Hulk is, they're restructuring their TV shows.
Guys, this should have
They're
happened.
bringing in showrunners,
This should have happened a while ago.
pilots. We've talked about this. But it's interesting that one of the big reasons is they're literally just throwing money away.
And it's so weird because everyone can see how it's being thrown away.
Yep.
Except for them, apparently.
So they do see it because they're struggling. They're seeing that they're not making nearly as much money as they used to make, right?
Yeah.
And so they have this crazy idea where they want to bring back the old Avengers.
I don't. They're.
Hulk, Thor,
the
Cap,
ones that are dead. Yeah.
Tony,
I really don't.
Scarlet,
I really don't want to see that because
Hawkeye.
one, it's just gonna goof up the timeline more, and the timeline's already so like jumbled around and confused. We don't need it. Two, I don't want to drag these actors back in or somehow, whether we're doing time jumping shenanigans or we're just gonna try to de-age them. I don't know.
I would love to see them come back in some capacity, but only for like a one-time thing.
Like a cameo or something.
the whole idea was that the next Avengers movie, all the Kangs defeat them.
Yeah.
And then the next Avengers 6, Secret Invasion?
No, that was the one with. That was the really bad one.
Secret Wars?
Did Secret Invasion come out this year?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was supposed to be about the TVA. And at the end of Deadpool, they'll pick up Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man will be making his own team with the new Young Avengers. And they're all going to meet together and fight Kang, which would be a great time to bring back, Tony and Cap.
Sure.
We just have one big... Because there's so many Kangs.
I guess. I don't know.
Would you imagine the door opens and Tony just walks through? Oh.
Because to me, nothing feels more pathetic than being like, oh, our story
It's a
used to
comic
be
book.
good, but
It's a fucking comic
did
book.
the comic book drag the
They
dead
always do. They
characters?
kill them and then bring them back and they just reboot it. It's a comic.
Nah. Also, they're so old now. Let them do other things.
True. Silent Hill Ascension, which is a mobile app game, came out last week.
Yeah, I saw it on the App Store like the other day.
You have to watch it live at a certain time.
Oh.
You interact with it while other people are watching it. And through your interactions, you win medals and stuff. You can also pay to win.
Ugh, immediately.
I downloaded it because I was expecting to do something, right?
Like to play a game.
And literally, I sat there for 20 minutes just watching, like, this is how this works. And then they're like, okay, we'll see you later tonight. And I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back.
No, having to like set a timer for my app games.
Yeah.
No.
So that's considered a failure. I love that Silent Hill finally came back in the worst capacity possible.
It's so not surprising.
It's Konami.
Good job, Konami. Good to know you still haven't changed.
But as for Silent Hill 2, the remake,
Yeah.
the team has admitted that they are highly inspired by a certain remake,
Which one?
Resident Evil 2.
Aw, who'd he get?
Just like everybody else has been copying.
Yes. And they're never gonna be as good as the original. The 2 remake, rather, being.
Yeah.
So good. So good. I love it.
You can almost say Resident Evil 4 remake's a remake, or a copycat of the remake of 2 also.
You could. You really could.
So, Best Buy Canada
Oh.
accidentally leaked something about Silent Hill 2 where it was talking about a new feature, which is an origin story for Pyramid Head. So a lot of fans are freaking out over this, not in a good way. They're actually upset because Pyramid Head cannot have an origin,
Yeah.
for he is the embodiment of guilt,
Yeah, he's James.
or I've heard also sexual frustration.
Yes, that's why his sword is so big. That's why he attacks other monsters in a very specific way.
They said they left that in there too.
Good. I would be
That's-
upset if they didn't, because that's the thing with Silent Hill is it's your own personal Silent Hill. You know, the monsters are fitted to reflect you and who you are and what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people always get upset when this Pyramid Head pops up in other places, because he was supposed to just be. I'm sure the character's name was James, right?
James Sutherland.
James Sutherland, yeah. It's James's monster. He was just a very, like, eye-catching and recognizable one, so they kept bringing him back for other things.
Well, in Homecoming, which is the 5th game,
Yeah.
across the lake is Shepherd's. No. Anyways, it's another town that's also having the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
And in that town, there are multiple Pyramid Heads, but they go by Boogeyman.
Okay.
But it's supposed to
Interesting.
be like a manifestation of that character's problems.
Yeah.
So he looks a little different, and the fact there's multiples of them.
That makes sense. At least they tried to do something different with it.
Silent Hill will come out at some point next year,
Yeah.
with 2 other games on the way.
Yeah. I
Silent-
keep thinking about them, too.
Silent Hill Townshed?
Is that the one with, like, a person wearing a very mushroom-esque outfit?
That's Silent Hill F.
I really want... Like, that's the one that really caught my attention.
That's gonna be the new game.
Silent Hill F you up.
I'm excited. I just think they're taking way too long. And apparently, Konami is not doing well with video games either, because they've talked about Metal Gear Solid Volume 1, and that there are still glitches in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes glitches are what you want. Like, if I get Skyrim ported to another console, I still want the dragon to accidentally, like, shamble his way into the ground. I want the little old lady to rocket into the sky because she touched a cabbage. Weird. That's part of the fun with Silent Hill. I'm sorry. Skyrim.
That's a weird Silent Hill.
that
Old ladies
is.
touching cabbages and floating in the sky?
God, my favorite. It's so
It's gotta
good.
be Japanese.
There's one quest where you're going around like fighting gods or whatever, and you find like this one god that's just a black cloud of smoke and eyeballs. It's not important. When you get there, there's like a cavern, and it's supposed to be filled with like vampires who you gotta fight and kill. But the way every time I played it, it was always glitched, and every vampire was T-posing. And they would not move, and their heads were not attached to their bodies. So you can just run up and like easily kill all the vampires because they wouldn't move. Then you go and you do the god thing. You get your little goodie.
Bethesda games. Dune.
Mm-hmm.
That movie,
It was supposed to come out this year.
which got pushed back. After the success of the first part, that was me bumping the desk.
Yeah, it made a very interesting audio wavelength.
They said that there would be a spin-off or prequel series about the sisterhood that his mom is part of.
Yeah.
They actually are filming it.
Oh!
It will
Okay.
come out next year in the fall after the second part.
I think it is ambitious to plan a spin-off / prequel thing when there's literally only one movie so far. And
There's
yeah, it did
9
really
books.
well. Yeah, it did really well, and there is all the material for it, but, like, I don't know. Maybe let's see another movie.
True. It was called Sisterhood. It's now called Dune Prophecy.
I think it's good to keep the Dune title in there. You don't want to Prometheus this and have people not realize it's part of the franchise. Like,
That's the fun of it. That was the point of the marketing.
I understand, but like also I think many more people would have watched it if they knew it was gonna be an alien movie.
True. House of Dragons Season 2 comes out next summer.
Finally, feels like it's been ages. I'm not gonna remember anyone's names. So much happened in that first season.
One's Daemon, and the other one's Aegon.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And another one's Aegon.
I don't even remember her name. The main girl?
Viserys.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
I thought that was the thing they said to make their dragons breathe fire.
What?
Like the little code word they used to teach their dragons how to breathe fire.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't remember.
Yellowstone's final episodes, because they took the last season. I know not many of you guys care, but this is part of the industry, and I'm a Yellowstone fan for all the wrong reasons.
I have a related thing.
So, like Breaking Bad, they filmed all of the last season, and then they chopped it in half. So it's part A and part B. Okay?
Season, was it 5?
Season 5.
Season 5, part 1, and season 5, part 2.
Yeah. It was supposed to... Part 1, part A is already out. Mm-hmm. I've already seen it. Part B was supposed to drop already into the fall that we're here. It was supposed to run to the end of December and end right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes a lot more sense after I tell you what happens here. Because they pushed it back a year, because of the actor strikes, and I guess they're still having a little problem with Kevin Costner,
Okay.
even though he's already done all his filming, and he's gone off to go do his next project, which is ready to go. They've greenlit 2 more spin-offs.
Jeez.
So, right now there are 3 spin-offs.
What's the third? Oh, the third one hasn't even come out yet.
Bass Reeves,
Yeah.
which is based on a real black man who hunted down criminals. Very successful, very impressive.
Cool. Black man.
Yeah, he's black.
Isn't he played by a white guy in the show? Am I
No.
thinking of a different person?
This is like way in the Western times, like 1800s.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh! I know who you're talking about. I remembered which character it is you're talking about.
No, we haven't seen him.
But
The character you're talking about is in modern times. And that's not his name at all.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot of characters.
Yes, there are. Then there was 1883,
Yeah.
82,
I think it's 3.
okay, which was a prequel to how the family came to the land.
Mm-hmm.
There is 1924,
Something like that.
1922.
It
Which-
might be 1923. It might be 3 again.
I think it's 1922.
It's hard to remember.
Which is about the family kind of taking over the town that they live in or nearby.
Yeah.
And creating their dynasty, which will become a 2-season series.
Okay, cool.
So there will be another season to that. And then there's Lawman Bass Reeves, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just a one-time spin-off. It's not even supposed to be connected to Yellowstone.
But other than in name only.
Taylor Sheridan really enjoyed the story.
Is that the writer guy?
The creator, yes.
He's terrible at writing women. His women are awful. Horribly done.
Yes, they're annoying.
They're all mean.
So the next spin-offs are... Can you get it? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1944, because we can't name anything here.
What do you... It's just 20 years after the one that they're still
I know, which
working
I was
on.
like, wouldn't the second season of 1922 be 1944?
Who's the youngest? Jack? Was that his name? The youngest son that they had? Who was like running around doing things in the African savannah? Nowhere near Yellowstone.
Spencer.
He's like 20 or 30, we'll go with, in 1922. So he'll just be 50 in 1944. He'll be like exactly the same, but with a little bit of salt and pepper in his hair. At most.
Yeah, I don't know why he put them so close. And then the next spinoff is 2024.
Yeah.
Which would make sense if Yellowstone had actually ended this year, and then the next series would be 2024.
Yeah. Whoops.
Which will star Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. I guess he's got to do something. He's probably bored.
I'm interested. I'm curious why they keep making more of these if they can't even finish the first one.
True. The thing I was going to say that was related is Attack on Titan finally ended. And I saw the way someone announced it. It was Attack on Titan's final season, Part 3, Part 2 is finally out. Like they split the final season into 3 parts and then released the third part in multiple parts.
Yes, I knew they did that. I saw what its official title was. I can't remember, but it was like Special Presentation Part 2.
Yeah. It's over. The story is finished, finally.
Did they attack the Titans?
Yeah, I looked up all the spoilers to know what's up with the Titans and everything.
Is it over? They're dead? No more? No spin-offs?
I have no idea. I wanted to know what the Titans were.
No Attack on Titan Super?
Who knows? I just want to know what the Titans were and then what we were doing.
Yeah.
It got weird. I should have expected. With anime in general. It's never like, I don't know what kind of solution I expected when I typed in, what are the Titans?
I don't even know how you can peacefully resolve One Piece.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these, like, where does Dragon Ball Super go?
Probably another big tournament. And then they already fought for the safety of their entire world.
Universe.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You can just go smaller from there. Just have, like, episodic shenanigans.
Superman and Lois finally got greenlit for its 4th and final season.
Yeah.
This is the end of the CW. Arrowverse. This is the last one.
Well, apparently they've come under new management.
Whoa, they went bankrupt.
The new management is apparently very Christian.
Yep.
I think
I don't know why you wouldn't keep Superman then.
I think they've started a new show about Jesus. Or something.
Nice.
I saw a trailer for something, and it was about Mary and Joseph. It's
about that time.
It was bad. It wasn't good. I didn't like it, but I'll have to see it again because it kind of went by really quickly before I could realize what was happening.
You know, one thing that's interesting for how beloved that book is.
Yes.
How devout its fans are.
Mm-hmm. They sure are.
They've never really adapted their stories well.
No, they really
fact,
haven't.
The best one is still Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, but that one doesn't have Jesus's 7 brothers and sisters? 13 other siblings?
Who you're talking to, they're either real or not.
Because it's really hard to paint him as the savior of all when you realize just how many things that family did to try to, paint their children as really special.
Well, he could have been special, and then the other kids were just love kids.
Sure.
Why not?
Also kind of ruins the whole she was a virgin thing. If there's 13 other kids.
Yeah. Well, she just finds them out in the street and takes them in.
Yeah.
And then the last chunk here is the new Studio Ghibli film, The Boy and the Heron, featuring voice talents like Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale, I don't think plays a major role.
He is the main character.
You keep saying that.
That's what I read.
I'm willing to bet the boy and the heron might be the main characters.
It's the boy named Bale.
I don't think so. But Robert Pattinson does the voice of the heron. So
Yep.
you told me in the morning, like a couple days ago, you were like, yeah, Robert Pattinson's gonna be in it. And I said out loud, I'm like, I don't know. I wonder what his voice acting skills is gonna be like, because he hasn't done anything like that before. And then later that day, I saw a trailer, and it's amazing. He has amazing voice acting skills. Does not sound like himself at all.
He sounds like Mark Hamill.
He doesn't sound
Which
like...
is weird, because Mark Hamill's in there.
He doesn't even sound like Mark Hamill. Like, it may be a little bit like Mark Hamill's Arthur Pym performance for Fall of the House of Usher, but also very different in its own right.
Also, Green Goblin's in it.
Yeah, but I didn't see him in the trailer anywhere.
Doesn't mean nothing.
You just want to talk about superheroes.
No.
Yes. Yes. You talked about Batman, Joker, other Batman, and Green Goblin.
Yeah, they're all in there.
You want to talk about Black Widow?
Yeah, Black Widow's in there too. Florence Pugh. It looks like a Studio Ghibli film.
Oh,
Okay, why are you
Drax
touching
is in it.
me? Yes, Dave Bautista.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really want to
But-
watch it.
We're in this age where everybody's played a superhero. Or been connected to it.
Everyone's either a superhero, Pokemon, or in Law and Order.
Or Star Trek.
True. Yes.
Okay, here we are. Box office trolls.
Box office trolls. Woo!
It's pretty easy. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yay! And it's down by 76%, and it's still at number one.
It made $113 million
Yay!
in total here in
You-
North America.
We're totally gonna get the sequel movies. Yeah!
Taylor Swift, number 2.
I want to. Yeah, cool.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh yeah, that one. That came out.
I was listening to a podcast where they just kind of saw it and were talking about it. Because I guess one of them read the book. It is a book based on true crimes.
Because as we discussed last week, Scorsese doesn't actually come up with stories. He just rips off other people's stories.
Yep. And apparently this one's not that good.
Dang. I kind of expect, like, the last thing he did wasn't good. The Irishman,
Yeah.
it was fine for what it was.
Apparently it lacks a lot of that. That Scorsese violence.
Well, also, wasn't he, like, 80 now?
Doesn't mean he can't be violent.
I mean, it does mean he can't always be, like, aware.
Number 4, Priscilla,
Nice.
which is another Elvis movie.
Oh, that one's A24?
Yep.
Cool. I do want to see Priscilla. I have no interest in watching Elvis.
I was like kind of into it, like the idea of it, and then I saw who the director was, and I was like, nope, I'm done.
Who's the director?
Sofia Coppola.
I don't know who. Francis Ford Coppola's daughter, I'm
Yes.
guessing? What else has she done?
Oh my god. Lost in Translation.
Is there anything I would recognize that I know what she's done?
She's done other girly movies.
Well, yeah, of course she's done girly movies.
She
It's
focuses
Priscilla.
She focuses mostly on girly movies.
Yeah, it's Priscilla. It's a story about a woman.
I don't like her acting, and I don't like her directing.
All right.
It's because she's a woman. No, it has nothing to do with that.
Like, did she do that one that had Harry Styles in it? That was considered really bad?
No,
Dang.
that was some other actress.
Ah. I want to see Priscilla, so I guess we'll figure it out.
Radical, which I have no idea what it is. Exorcist Believer, number 6.
Yep, gonna start really diving now that Halloween's over.
Paw Patrol the Mighty Movie, number 7.
Woo!
Number 8, After Death. Number 9, What Happens Later.
I have no idea what that is.
Me either. Number 10, Freelance. 11, Saw 10, so it's fallen below. And number 12, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course. Nightmare. If they keep playing it, it might start bouncing back up and down that list. because we're diving towards the Christmas stuff now.
Yep. The big movie this week is Marvels.
Yeah, I expect it to be number one, or at least within the top 5.
What? It's going against Taylor Swift, which has been out for like 3 to 4 weeks, and Five Nights at Freddy's, which is also
available to watch on streaming.
Yes. So yeah, Marvels is going to win. Are they going to make as much money as they used to? It's not on track.
I really don't think... A lot of people don't even know it's coming out this week.
I'm sure they do.
They've changed the release dates so many times.
Oh, that was an interesting thing. Because of that, the director, I forgot her name, but she did the Marvels, and she's working on another film. And it came out that she had left post-production of Marvels while it was still happening to go work on her movie. She came out after this horrible news, like, even the director doesn't have faith. And she's like, hey, Marvel knew I was obligated to work on this other film. And they kept pushing it back. And she was like, I was committed to a 2-year process of working with the Marvels. But because they kept pushing it back, it became a 3.5-year process.
Jeez.
And she just had to move on to go something else.
And Disney wonders why directors don't want to work with them.
Yes, they're very controlling.
Yeah.
We did see a movie.
We did.
And it was just one movie. But it was one I wanted to watch. Resident Evil Death Island.
It was good.
No.
I don't know why you didn't like it so much.
No.
You're so hypercritical for the dumbest reasons, I'm gonna say.
Why? Why are you so mean?
I'm sorry. The things you didn't like about it make no sense to me.
Like what?
You said,
there's too many people in it.
Yeah, but that was the whole selling point.
No, they shouldn't have done that.
It was my thing that I didn't like about it was that the villain we spent way too much time on the villain, and then he wasn't even cool.
At least he didn't turn into a giant eyeball freak.
Yeah, the final monster he turns into is at least very interesting.
It's a big, scary...
Like a shark?
Yeah, but a shark ate him, and then he turned into something even weird. He had, like, hooves. And he was able to come out of the water. He was massive.
Yeah. But yeah, there's all 5 of them are in this movie. It's Rebecca, Chris, Jill, Leon, Claire. And I was disappointed that we barely got any interesting interactions between them.
There's too many characters. It should have been... First of all, get Leon out of there.
I was fine with Leon being there.
It somehow makes sense, but he should have shown up and disappeared. He didn't have to stick around.
I feel like it would have been better if they all showed up as a unit and was a team the entire time. And have more banter with them. Because that was the thing I wanted to see. With all of these characters I love together for the first time in a movie is cool interactions. Leon and Jill have like 2 sentences between each other before they go running around only killing either like basic zombies or lickers. That was something I thought was super boring. Just basic zombies and lickers. That's it.
So the bad guy, he had this girl with him, and she was like leftover from Vendetta.
Yep.
So it is a sequel to Vendetta, but it's before the events of 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So, like Chris is talking about Piers, which is... Piers dies in Resident Evil 6. This is an adult Leon. You can see he has, like, muscle on him.
Yep. This is a Leon that's come back from the brink of drunkenness, alcoholism. He's the only one wearing, like, tactical gear, except for Rebecca. Would make sense. She would show up in tactical gear. She was planning on going in, guns blazing.
Yes. Yeah, and then Chris, Claire, and Jill just stroll in. Chris is wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
I liked it. It was so nice to see Chris just wearing a very sexy, skin-tight shirt for once in one of these movies. Other than his whole uniform. Show me the goods.
He also wears that to Alcatraz.
Well, yeah, they were just showing up to, like, check things out initially. Like, they
know
didn't think that something was going to happen.
It is in the Bay?
No.
It is freezing.
Maybe they went during July.
It's still cold.
I don't know. Jill had that really ugly jacket on. She had a jacket. She had her normal, like, blue tank top and black pants. And then she had, like, a like a long jacket, unbuttoned, and then like fingerless gloves that went up to like almost her elbow.
They weren't that long.
It was.
Fight scenes are fun.
Yeah, it looks.
Certain shots looked real.
Some things look like, I'm like, that's a human being. That's a real human person. That's not an animated. That's a real person.
There's that one shot where you can see the pores on Jill's face.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was such a pretty movie.
When Leon was fighting that one bad girl, you can tell that those were actual actors fighting each other.
He does, early on, he does a thing on a motorcycle, and they go into a tunnel, and the lighting effects on all the cars and his motorcycle in the tunnel, oh my god, so pretty. The thing that bummed me out the most was that, so there's a point, mild spoilers, there's a point where...
There's a virus.
What? What? No, Claire's, like, really sick. She's, like... in the throes of it. And Chris doesn't do or say anything. And yeah, they're separated by, like, jail bars. They're in, like, cells right next to each other. He doesn't do or say anything. And I'm like, have the siblings, like, hold hands. You could reach your hand through the bar and, like, have them hold on to each other.
He could barely move.
But that's his sister.
Yeah, but he was stuck there against the wall.
You had time to move before. You know, she picked up a pen and held down a person. She did a thing. I wanted more out of the siblings.
That was weird. These movies come out every so often.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when the first one came out, Degeneration.
Awful.
I was in high school.
It's so bad. It looks it.
That's all we had.
The plot's
The
dumb.
fact that we got a second one
Yeah.
blew my mind, and then
So
it took them years
I guess it's...
to even come around to making the third one, Vendetta. And then we stopped making those and made that Netflix TV show
Infinite Darkness.
with a younger Leon
Yeah.
after the events of 4 or before 4.
I think it was before 4.
And then now we just went back to a movie where
Yeah. We're bouncing around a little bit.
yeah, it was weird. There's a lot of weird things. I mean, at the beginning we went back to Raccoon City.
Yeah, which was... I thought it was weird that we were doing that. It made sense. We were setting up the villain.
I saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just kept being like, why did we see those two guys? They seemed real important.
I don't think Resident Evil will ever surprise me the way it did with 8. With its twist there.
Yeah, I feel like this one should have been the TV show.
Yeah.
Because I'm spending more time on the characters and just the plot also, I feel like, would have really helped. But it wasn't bad. It was a nice, good action flick to just watch. If you're not looking for anything too crazy, just some fun action.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
And then we started watching that documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it's called.
It's called, like, Life on Earth, or The Story of Life, or something.
So they tout it, beware.
Yeah.
They tout it as some big documentary about dinosaurs. They are barely in it.
They are lying to you. There are dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs are mostly just, like, plot points to then tangent into talking about others. Like, they'll start talking about the reptilian dinosaurs, and then we just start learning about reptiles. It is fascinating if you like learning about plants and insects and fish.
It's not about dinosaurs.
But it's not. And then every now and then you'll be sitting there learning some like absolutely jaw-dropping, mind-blowing facts about ants. And then Morgan Freeman, because of course it's Morgan Freeman, he sprinkles the word dinosaur into the middle of his script. And it's like, oh yeah, that's what this thing was about, wasn't it?
The thing about ants was fascinating.
I loved it.
So the ants went off to go fight the termites. Mm-hmm. They beat them, but they came back missing limbs.
Yeah.
And when they got back to the colony, the other ants started basically licking their wounds.
Yeah.
Because their spit has antibacterial
Yeah, to like seal up the wound and
it was
stop it from getting infected or whatever.
Yeah, healing them. And he tells us that this is the only other time besides humans where an animal will medically treat another animal.
Yeah. It was so mind-blowing. I love the insect parts. I love insects. I love them. We see some totally rad spiders at one point in time. That was another highlight.
I liked watching the lizards jump.
It's the worst part, yes. The worst part is every time we cut to some sort of dinosaur, because we don't actually know the actual biology of the dinosaurs, every single time they make up some cutesy little fucking dance for them to do.
Yep.
And every time it's like kind of dumb. The worst one was the centipedes.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was so baffling to me that I actually ruined my search history by Googling how do centipedes mate, which
They should coil up on each other, right?
no, he just basically the male centipede just jizzes in his hands and then dumps it into her hands and then she does it herself basically. That's what they don't even like touch their bodies together. He just like leaves a trail of sperm and then she crawls over the trail and handles it herself.
Not many of those animals actually make physical contact to mate. Like frogs. Mm-hmm. They lay their eggs at the bottom of the water, and then the male comes over and splooges.
Yeah. And so having so much of it being like, and this is how the T-Rexes would do their mating dance with each other. It's like, no, it's not. I don't believe. I'm sorry, Morgan Freeman. I don't think that's how this would happen.
Yeah, don't... If you're interested, go ahead. But don't go in thinking about dinosaurs. Like, they showed us a T-Rex, and I was like, finally, the dinosaurs. And you see what's shot right behind him? It was the asteroid that kills them all. And it was like, you mother...
Yeah, by the time they finally start actually talking about the dinosaurs...
they skip all that and go straight to their extinction event.
Oh, man, my favorite one, it was like episode 3. Where it's like, now that we're done with the water world, it's time to travel on land. And then you see, it starts with them, like, presenting, well, like, proto-dinosaurs. And it's like, this is a delicate balance of life, traveling onto nature, will change the limbs of the branches of evolution forever. And then we started talking about amphibians. Where suddenly we're, like, knee-deep in frogs. And it's like, what happened to the dinosaurs?
Well, that was the thing. Amphibious creatures would have been before them.
It makes sense. It's all just a path to talk about species and evolution. You go through plants, then plants, fish, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, birds, and then there's 2 episodes we haven't gotten to yet.
Which will be megafauna.
Uh-huh.
Which is the Ice Age, and then Homo erectus.
Yeah, I guess mammals wasn't accurate. It was rodentia.
Yes.
Technically.
Yes. Because the age of the mammal will come.
Yes, that'll be the megafauna. So.
Crunch time.
It's crunch time.
You pronounce this one as Rolo.
Yeah?
Yeah. Rolled style chocolates, brand of truncated? What? Okay.
Truncated.
Cone shaped or... I'm not gonna read all this. It's chocolates with caramel inside.
Yeah, you've all had Rolos. They usually come in like a pack, a rolled pack. Hence the one of the dogs woke up, as you could probably hear. Do you like Rolos?
I don't think I've ever sat down and eaten one.
I'm same.
That's why I'm actually doing this, because I was like, I don't think I've ever had one.
I remember they were considered very like ritzy for candy. That was like the adult one. Like they were the ones where you saw the commercials and it was always like a woman coyly sneaking into her office, and then she takes a bite too slowly and does like a sly smile to the camera. Very Ghirardelli-esque.
So they were made in the United Kingdom by Macintosh in 1937.
That's a computer. Silly United Kingdom.
Everywhere else they're made by Nestle.
Okay.
And here in America they're made by Hershey.
Okay.
Their British slogan is, "Do you love anyone enough to give them your last Rolo?"
Wow. A very competitive slogan compared to the, I'm going to say, more iconic Reese's. They're shareable. Yeah. Because it comes with 2.
After Nestle acquires Roundtree, which it ends up just taking Rolo there, They began making Rolo biscuits, ice cream, muffins, birthday cakes, desserts, cake bars,
Cake bars.
donuts, mini Rolos, big Rolos,
It's
yogurts, yogurts, and Easter eggs.
it's just chocolate with caramel in it, right?
Yeah.
So you can have anything with chocolate and caramel. I just finished a pint of ice cream that had chocolate and caramel in it. That could have been Rolo flavored.
Could have been. In 2011, McDonald's combined chocolate pieces and caramel sauce with their soft serve McFlurry.
Wow. They're
And-
stealing the formula.
Walmart sells an ice cream of Rolo.
Huh. So
There
there
you
you go. It's just chocolate and caramel.
Never had one.
Nah.
Maybe I will.
They seem like a thick amount of caramel.
Yeah, you can see the picture right there.
Yeah.
I like caramel. It's just the teeth problem.
And if it gets too hard, like don't put it in the fridge. That's always like the killer.
We don't really have that option out here in the desert.
Yeah, that's true. Because then you pick it up and then half the chocolate is just goop on your hand.
I hate melted candy.
Yes.
It's so gross.
That's why I would opt for like a sweet tart or Nerds any day of the week because I can hold it and it won't melt disgustingly.
True. Okay, that was a coffee break. Nice. I hope you guys had a good week.
Yeah.
You think about it, Thanksgiving's just around the corner.
Yeah.
And this podcast's got to end because these dogs are just becoming annoying.
He's just rolling around on the ground to scratch his face.
Okay, guys, have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.